Good afternoon, everyone. It's Liam Neild here with your MU review for Manchester United's fourth Barclays Premier League game of the 2015-16 season. Naturally, I'm quite disappointed. We've just been beaten 2-1 by Swansea again. Yes, we've been beaten 2-1 by Swansea, a Welsh team, again. I mean, where to begin with this? I mean, Swansea City are a good side. I've always liked them ever since they came up into the Premier League. They've played good football. Gary Monk's a fantastic young manager, and to be perfectly honest, they bought brilliantly in the last two transfer windows. They've replaced the players they've lost, and they deserve the win today. It doesn't make me any less frustrated that Manchester United are now a team that can be beaten by Swansea City on a regular basis. We didn't play brilliantly today. We definitely played well in periods, in fits and spurts. The start of each half was fantastic, a bit like last week when we played against Newcastle. We really came out with purpose. We counter-attacked brilliantly for our goal. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I didn't actually see it. I was going out to get breakfast during half-time and came back in to see Mata wheeling away celebrating, but I did see the replay. It was good counter-attacking play, great play by Luke Shaw, and a good finish by Mata, but we just wilted after that. We really sort of I'd say about 5-10 minutes where we really controlled the game and looked like we were going to run away with it. We could add a second very quickly afterwards. But as soon as we let Swansea back in, and as good as Luke Shaw was today, as well as he played going forward, he was once again suspect defensively for their first goal, which is really the goal that changed the game. At that point, I didn't think Swansea were going to get back into it. I thought that we would get another goal in the next few minutes and then that would be it. But we really did kind of drop the ball defensively, something which we haven't done yet. It was the first goal we conceded in the league this season. And yeah, it was very disappointing. Luke Shaw was caught out of position. It forced Daley Blind to drift wide, and then Chris Smalling was left with two big, tall black men to mark in the middle. And that's just something that Chris Smalling maybe can't handle. But to be fair, like I said, Swansea really did. They showed a lot of character when they went behind, which is something we didn't show when we went behind. And in fact, it's something we didn't show when we got drawn level. As soon as Swansea equalised, it was almost like we were scared. And that's something that I'm not used to seeing. I've been a Manchester United fan for my entire life, and I've never seen Manchester United play as scared as they did, when they went behind or when they had their lead taken away from him. It's something they've not had to deal with yet this season, and their first reaction to it was a dismal failure. Obviously, the Moyes season aside, when we really just didn't look like we could string two passes together, I really don't think I've seen a United side wilt that quickly after having had the lead. And it's worrying. I saw an interesting comment on the BBC Vide printer while I was keeping up with the game, which said that under Sir Alex Ferguson, you'd have expected United to win that game 3-2, even after they went 2-1 behind. But from my perspective, as soon as they scored that second goal, which for me was just a catastrophic goalkeeping blunder, I think Romero was daydreaming. I don't know what he was doing. He got down, it took him about 10 seconds to get to the ground. I mean, that ball was probably going about as fast as, a slug on the side of the road, and he still managed to slip it under him. And, in fairness, David De Gea probably would have stopped it. I understand why Van Gaal's not playing him, but David De Gea probably would have stopped that goal and, could have kept us in the game, because to be perfectly honest, after we went behind, especially, obviously there was only 3 minutes where we were level after having been in the lead, because Swansea hit us so quickly with the second goal. But, for those 3 minutes, we looked a bit scared, and then it just looked like Swansea were going to score again. And then when they did, you just thought, right, that's it. You didn't really believe that United were going to get back into it. I was as surprised as anyone when Wayne Rooney actually beat a man. Not only one, but two. He actually got in front of two defenders, brought down a brilliant long ball, and just showed that even after the hat-trick in midweek, he's short of confidence. There's something going on there, because maybe it's that extra yard of pace that the Bruges defenders didn't have to close him down. But Ashley Williams just had him in his back pocket the entire game, and even when Rooney did manage to get away from him, he tried to take an extra touch and put it on his right foot. I don't understand what's wrong with his left foot. It's been pretty good for the last decade. Why can't you use it now, Wayne? There was a couple of occasions when he got caught out by Ashley Williams, when he actually had beaten him. He had one in the first half when he beat Ashley Williams in a one-on-one, and he had the ball on his left foot, and he loses the ball because he tried to cut it back onto his right foot. If he had just taken a swipe at it with his left, I mean, all you've got to do is put it on target, and it's going to cause Fabianski problems. So, very disappointed with that. But yeah, overall, I think the performance lacked character. I think we definitely did play well in parts. I'm not saying it was dismal. There were definitely parts of it, like I said, at the beginning of each half where we were blowing them off the park and we were showing that we do have the capability to brush a team like Swansea aside. And we just sort of let Swansea get back into the game. And once we allowed them to score a goal on us, our confidence was shot in defence. I thought our defence really did wobble after they conceded that first goal and were very much at fault for the second goal. And I just think that we lacked character. We got scared of Swansea because they were coming at us and we didn't show that fight that we needed. Swansea, full credit to you. I think you're a fantastic team. You really played very well. I think you're up there with Crystal Palace as one of the teams that has really, taken off flying, obviously, with the exception of Man City. Palace, Leicester and Swansea are the other three teams that make up the top four. We're in fifth. And I was laughing at Liverpool and Chelsea for losing yesterday, but now that we've gone and completed it, Man City are the ones that are laughing because they're just making it look easy. They're going and beating Everton at Goodison Park, beating Chelsea at the Etihad, and I don't think we could beat either of those teams playing the way we played today. So, yeah, we've definitely got a lot of work to do. I hate losing games in August. I really do. I really hate losing games in August. It doesn't set a good tone. In the title-winning seasons, Chelsea led from the start last year, and this year City are leading from the start. I'm not saying that City are going to win the league, okay? I know that there's a lot of time between now and the end of the season, but the precedent is there that the team that gets off to the real flyer, especially when other teams are faltering around them, tends to just ride the momentum, because when you've got quality players and you have momentum like City do, it's hard to see how they're going to get stopped, obviously. I think they'll get tripped up around the time that the Champions League games start coming, especially because they've got some very, very tough opponents in the Champions League group stage. We got very lucky with that, not to mention that the one decent player in the group that we got is now just transferred to Man City, so they've done us a favour there, making Wolfsburg a little bit easier for us. But I guess I'll wrap this up now. It's difficult to pick a man of the match when you've been defeated. To be honest, it was difficult to pick a man of the match last week when we drew 0-0. But I am going to give it to Bastian Schweinsteiger. I thought he played with real authority, especially in the first half. He did fade towards the end. He had an absolutely horrendous long ball attempt at Maro and Fellaini, And just on a side note, the whole Maro and Fellaini long ball tactic, I know that it's a very divisive tactic, but the fact of the matter is me and every other United fan was screaming for Fellaini when Swansea went 2-1 up, because we weren't getting through what we were doing. And yeah, Swansea dealt with him. Ashley Williams dealt with him very well and stopped him from really doing anything. But that is the go-to, and I know it's not pretty, but there have been many games last season where we were down by a goal and Fellaini saved it for us. And I don't blame Van Gaal for putting him on. I think it was the right decision. I just think Swansea were ready for it. And like I said, Swansea are a good side. They handled it very well, and all power to them, although I am very disappointed to have lost that game having been in the lead. But yeah, Bastian Schweinsteiger, man of the match. Hopefully he can really fine-tune his game and become that real key player for us, because I don't think Wayne Rooney's going to be that key player for us this season. Even if he does get dropped back into holding midfield, or not holding midfield, but into the number 10 role, even if he does, I just don't see where the spark's coming from Rooney. So hopefully he'll be able to recapture his form at some point soon. If you have anything you want to talk to me about, leave a comment. If not, that's okay as well. I'll be back in a fortnight. We have now the international break, so it's disappointed to go into the international break with off the back of a defeat, especially when we're now 5 points adrift of City outside the top four. I know it's early days, but these things bother me, especially over a 2-week period. And then we've got a massive game against Liverpool when we come back, and I think that the way that we react to this defeat, especially with a bit of time to think about it, is really going to dictate where the season's going to go for us. If we can go and put in a good performance against Liverpool, maybe this result will just end up being a footnote in an otherwise successful season. But early days yet. Looking forward to the rest of the season. Still a bit disappointed today, but yeah, that's your MU review for this week, and I'll see you later.